Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Sorry Not Sorry. Today we have three very special guests here with us and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Ling Yi. I am the founder of 01 Studio, also known as Wow Banana.
Hi everyone, I'm Yongjin. I'm a material science and engineering graduate from NTU, and I'm currently a youth enhancement engineer in Micron.
Hi everyone, I'm Diana Saleh. I'm a marketing director of Salad Stop Group. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome to the show, guys. Today's topic is a serious one and going to be very useful for you guys because today we're going to learn about adulting, namely about finding your new job, finding a good career for yourself. And that's why we have three representatives here. We have two girl bosses, yes, and then we also have Yongji here, our youth representative, okay, a young guy navigating in the space of
Engineering.
yes. So let's discuss what constitutes a good job. Right, off the top of my head, I would say that maybe young people nowadays, they want to find a job that's like meaningful to themselves, right? A lot of them is like, okay, I want to do like save the turtles kind of thing, maybe, or like, you know, find a cure for cancer, something like that. Something that's fun, at the same time with good salary, stable, won't anyhow go and fire you or the boss owe you money, don't pay you, right? As well as having opportunities to like be promoted lah. Cannot be you stagnant there or you see no way to, you know, navigate the job in future. Yeah. So what do you guys think constitute a good job?
So most of us will not like every part of our careers, right? There will be some parts of your career that you hate and some parts that you like. But I think it's important to choose a path that you believe is the best for you and you embrace the journey that comes your way, be it good or bad.
Wow, that's very mature thinking. Actually, how old are you?
I was gonna ask
Yeah.
the exact same question.
I'm 28 this year.
28 this year. Do you think that most people actually like go when they like find a first job, right? They are just like, as long as I don't super hate it, it's okay. But like most of the time, they would rather not be working. For most people.
I was very lucky that I found a job when I first
Yes.
started looking for a job. So I was just grateful to whatever I found.
Do you like that job?
Yes, I loved that job.
Oh,
Surprisingly, I was very lucky.
Yeah,
yes.
I think same for me also because I just fell into the whole like blogging career influencer thing, and then it was just like never had to look for a job after that. So it was just something that I'm super passionate about and I love. But I feel like this is going to be actually really, really difficult for people as well, like to be able to be that lucky lah. And in the first place, knowing what you are even passionate about takes some trying also.
True.
Yeah.
True. I think I'm quite the opposite because I hated my first job. I was struggling, but I was on a hustle mode. So it was all about I'm getting the salary at the end of the month and like just continuously going through the motion.
What was that first job?
I was actually a dinner and dance graphic designer. So I was doing like invitation cards and like backdrop that I had typo errors and I reprinted. I have to pay for it because of my errors. But, you know, we all learned the hard way.
I think that sounds fun though.
Yeah, it
sounds
was
relatively
really
fun. It
fun.
sounds a lot more fun than a lot of jobs.
So
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to say my first job was a Thai dancer.
no way.
Yes. I not cosplay. I was a dancer. I was
no.
Chang'e. Do you know
That's
what that
fun.
is?
No, I
Mid
don't.
Autumn Day. You know, is it Mid Autumn Day?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
this like
okay.
Mickey
mythical.
Mooncake.
Yes, yes.
And we always have like performance, right?
Yeah.
So I go to like community centers and all that, and I dance as Chang'e. That was my literal first job.
Yeah, but I think Yongjin like really demonstrated like a lot of maturity in what
Yeah.
he's saying. Yeah, but I think the other two guests haven't answered. What constitutes a good job?
I would say it's professional growth, and to be able to have a good mentor. Because when you first started working, right, you know absolutely nothing. Did you know anything? I mean,
No.
this is your first job, right?
Yeah.
When I started my first job, I thought I knew a lot of stuff.
Yes.
But now I look back, right, I knew nothing. I didn't know what I want. I don't know how to work. But luckily, I had a good mentor. And so when you go into a job, I think you need to keep in mind that how much can you grow in this company or how much can you learn from this company? That's the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
I guess it's like about upgrading yourself. So while you're at
Yes.
your job, improving yourself, learning new things, and
Yeah.
then taking that to your next career as well. Yeah. So what do you think, Diana?
Yeah, I think I second that. And also, it's the importance of having a safe environment to be able to make errors and it kind of challenges you to improve yourself. So be it professionally or personally, it's a great feeling, or rather a great platform to have that company actually supports you and your growth. So I think that constitute a good job, and I think more on what you mentioned, financial stability, and for me, work-life balance, right? I do know there's a lot of layers to work-life balance, but the fact that if you could find a job that is close to what you're passionate with, you don't seem to work a day in your life. I know it sounds cheesy, but it is true. It is true. At the end of it, it kind of changes your attitude and your mental mindset to it also. So I guess that constitutes a good job.
So let me ask you guys, would you pursue a career that is like not related to what you studied?
I did. Guess what I studied?
Let me guess. Wait, can guess one or not?
Cannot.
Optometry.
Optometry. What?
You said unguessable, what?
Oh, the guessable lah. It's just that very rare lah. As in, you wouldn't picture that on me, probably.
Right, engineer.
Medical.
Ooh, thank you.
What did you say?
All the medicine students are like very
Medical.
good looking back in uni.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Business law.
No lah. They are also very good looking.
Psychology.
Thank you. No. Okay. Anyway, I studied computing.
Wow.
Programming. Yeah, I'm from School of Computing in
It's
US.
sort of related lah. You do videos now. You have
It's
to, like,
completely not related.
don't you have to like, I don't know.
No, what I learned was coding, like how to, like, for example, design an app
Oh,
or website. Back then, don't even have an app.
that's true.
Back then, it's website.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What,
I
like
totally did not do
Dreamweaver?
that.
Yeah,
No.
fireworks or something like that.
Yeah, so from that to
Yeah.
Ge Thai dancer is no, my first, that one is a part-time job. So
Stream.
my first job was working for a gaming company. So I was doing publishing. It's completely different. One is very tech, what I
Yeah.
learned, what I was given as my first job is very soft skill based actually.
Ah.
How about everyone else?
Yeah, I think for me, I've changed my field of study completely. So as mentioned, I started with my graphic designer job. So I graduated with the diploma in interactive media design. So I was doing 2D animation with the whole paper drawing frame by frame. But then I go into a degree in visual comm. Okay, then I have a knack in branding. And so, plus, I kind of think to myself, okay, I can't be on my desk, right? Just graphic designer, getting clients' feedbacks and like making changes, true. Then I took some courses, SkillsFuture courses, and then that kind of, and also being fortunate to get the role of a marketing executive, come graphic designer. So that kind of kick off, where I'm at right now.
Right. So now you are fully in marketing.
Yeah,
so your
absolutely.
graphic designer work,
Yeah,
not
so
doing anymore.
It is very much relevant, and it did me a very good deed to this day, because I then have that eye, the flair, the training that I've gotten through years and years, and being able to work with graphic designers, right? And I myself make my own presentation, open my own Illustrator and Photoshop, and make those edits so that I can speed up my work and not wait on the list of the designers. So
Right.
that has helped as additional tools, to get me by.
How do you first realize that you have a eye for marketing or like branding, as you said?
Because I started to talk too much. I suggest too much. I have too much of an opinion. And I started to create mood boards. I started to study about like what Nike does, Adidas does, how they empower women, how it gets so inspiring. So hence why I felt like, hey, maybe I could just divert. And then thankfully enough, with the exposure and the experience, I'm able to kind of like swim my way through.
Right.
And it serves me, where I'm at right now.
I see. So when you said that you got that marketing executive job, which is also needs to do graphic design, right?
Yeah.
Like when you interviewed for that job, did they ask you, do you have any marketing experience?
Yes.
Was it necessary for that job?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It was. But at the same time, I created a proposal based on my graphic design skills. So I created, okay, this is what I would propose Salad Stop, to increase in sales by doing so and so and so. These are the kind of collaterals and the promos that you can do. Although it's literally, if I'm seeing that for right now, I would think like, okay, that's a little bit, not realistic. But it helped. It helped me get
Definitely.
the job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it shows a lot of initiative. Like you really want to help the company grow, and that's why they were very impressed. So that's why they were okay that you didn't have any prior marketing experience, and they still hired you.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Did they send you to course? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they send you to course?
Much later, because sometimes we don't even have that time to take ourselves out of the job. But yes, they do. I think we were funded by the company funded for me to go under the SkillsFuture Enterprise Credit.
Wow.
So that's where.
You don't know what that is.
I
Right?
don't know what that is. Yeah. Okay, so for those of you guys watching, we talked about SkillsFuture a little bit, and this thing called enterprise credits came up, and I have no idea what it is. So waiting for one of you to explain it to me. But before we go into that, let's talk a bit more about SkillsFuture. So from what I understand, it's and I don't know whether I'm correct, it's government initiative, right? Government project where Singaporeans can take up skills, right? By applying for some courses or classes. Correct or not? Why are you looking at me like weird?
Sort of.
Yeah, and it's like free. No, you still have to pay.
So basically, everybody who's above 25, right? You get SkillsFuture credits.
Yes.
About $500.
Right.
And the government do top up here and then. So you can use these credits to go to do certain courses, not everything,
Oh, not any.
certain things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I personally took a cooking class.
Right.
'Cause I
What
was
do you mean
joining.
by not everything? So if I want to learn how to tell different insects apart by their species, I cannot do that.
Maybe you can go and search. I cannot
Okay.
tell you have or don't have. There are
Oh.
some very interesting courses, but there are a lot more like mainly for career advancement, that
Right.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
But whatever is available, I can choose anything that I want, right?
Pretty much, yes. If it's available on the website, I think you can apply.
I see. That's very interesting. But you all say enterprise credits. I've never heard of that. What is that?
That's the credits. So as a company owner, right? So
Yeah.
as my company, I have SkillsFuture credits, but it's called SkillsFuture Credit Enterprise.
Oh.
So I have about 10K to use if my employees wants to take courses.
Oh.
Yeah. So some of my employees actually went to take sales course, but they subsidize up to 90%, not 100%. So I still need to pay lah. Anyway, the courses were more than what I had.
I'm a bit confused here. Okay, so you say as a company you have 10K of credits to spend on employees. Do you choose what course they take, or do they choose their own course?
They can. So I think both ways works. I
Okay.
can choose whatever course I want them to take, or they can come to me. Like some of my employees actually came to me and say they want to take this and this, and then I'll just
Right, but most companies
take.
will let their employees
Select.
select whatever it is that's actually beneficial to the job lah.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, right. So
You cannot
so
tell me, come to me, say you want to learn how to, train a
differentiate
rabbit.
insects.
You know?
Yeah, okay. So you say like every company gets this $10,000 credit?
To my knowledge, it's only eligible companies, but I think quite a lot of companies are eligible for that.
Oh, that's quite cool, right? Then you can upgrade
Yeah,
yeah. So Yongjit, you actually pursued a career that is related to your degree, right?
No,
No.
actually no. So my story is before I actually pursued my degree in engineering, I was actually in Polytechnic pursuing a diploma in molecular biotechnology. So that was in life sciences, which is totally different from what I'm actually studying now. I mean, what I'm doing now, sorry.
So what made you decide to change?
At the end of the day, I chose to pursue an engineering degree because I believe that the upsides and what I was looking for was in this realm of engineering. And to add on is like I think engineering and tech is a fast moving thing, right? And I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to be engaged in it. So that's actually why I pursued engineering. So I think ultimately I made the career switch and whatnot. But ultimately is you have to know for yourself what you want in future. And there are a lot of government initiatives that the government has put in place. Definitely one of it is, as mentioned, the SkillsFuture credits and whatnot to help you upskill and help you find your calling. Yeah.
So right, today I just learned that there is something in SkillsFuture, right, called the Skills and Training Advisory Services, right? And this service, right, is really good for people who don't really know what is their calling, like what exactly do you want to do. Like this service will actually help you. So it's available for Singaporean citizens and permanent residents, right? And it says that it offers personalized guidance to help individuals identify their skills and training needed for career advancement or transition. And there is a one-for-one consultation, okay? So you can take about 30 to 45 minutes, okay, and you can actually receive tailored service from skills ambassadors on the skills required for career progression. So like for example, Diana, like okay, you want to go into marketing, but you're not sure like what do I need to go into marketing? Then these people will sit down with you, tell you what marketing is about, and tell you, okay, for marketing, for a job in marketing, you need to know this, and that. Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
So this is actually available, right? For like your skills upgrading, and the consultations can actually be conducted face to face, virtually, or via telephone also can. And you can actually also request for follow-up consultations. Wow, government quite useful, not bad, right? Yeah, it's very good for people who are looking to change a job, but they are not sure whether they can or cannot, and what is required. Yeah. So we come to the next part of our podcast to ask our guests here. Okay, so what is your biggest concern when it comes to securing a job?
So for me, I'm a mother. So I've been in the current workplace of mine for 10 over years. And if I'm gonna step into the position of, okay, now Diana is gonna find a new job, I would wanna look for a company that's flexible. Not to say, okay, I can take leave anytime I want, childcare leave anytime I want, but it's more of the ability to, like I mentioned again, a safe environment for me to build trust with the leadership, right? That at the end of the day, the job will be done. However, I require flexibilities just in case, my son fall ill, I have to work from home, not giving me the side eye, but that would be the flexibility, and also how I can adapt to the company. So I probably would be a little culture shock is everyone, or maybe like 80% of them would be Gen Zs. But I'm always open. I'm always having this openness in me. But I think that would be it. Just being adaptable and flexible. Yeah, that would be the company that I would be concerning for me. Yeah.
So some of the biggest concerns my friends had were definitely experience. Like internships was at the top of our heads, right?
Right.
We're like constantly thinking, oh, do we have enough internships? Do we have a competitive edge? Do you have the experience? Because nowadays in the market, a lot of employers are not just looking at your paper qualifications. Right? They're looking at relevant skills and whatnot. So skills and experience definitely were at the top of our heads.
Lee, how about you?
Okay, maybe I speak from an employer's point of view. I think the biggest challenge for everybody who is working is that everybody is replaceable. So that can be a good thing or a bad thing. Good thing, bad thing first. Bad thing is you can be replaced. I can be replaced. But the good thing is you can replace someone else.
Okay.
So to reduce that fear, right, is that you just make yourself less replaceable, right? So what that means? That means basically, I give you a very simple example. For example, right now I am a programmer. If I also know project management skills, does it make gives the employer more pain when he was trying to fire me? Yes, right? Because then if he wants to replace me, he either have to find somebody who also have these two skills, or he has to hire two person to replace me. So that's why I say always have something else to offer on top of what you are doing is good. So
Right.
upskilling is good. Another thing that's a lot of people fear, which is what you mentioned just now, is that fresh graduates, they lack experience, right? So honestly speaking, when I'm hiring, I don't really like people with no experience. But in our industry, we do get young people. We need their energy, we need their perspectives, even though they have no experience. So when I hire, I favor those with internship experience. Or I actually have some stuff with work study experience, like the one you just mentioned, because that gives them at least a little bit of perspectives, like what is working like,
Yes.
and they give them a little bit of insight to the industry or
Right.
any industry at all. Yeah,
So doing internships is actually super beneficial. lah.
actually, I think so. As an employer,
Yes.
I do look at it.
What about people who graduate and then they maybe don't come from such a well-to-do family and they immediately need to start earning money, like proper money lah, not internship money, to like sustain themselves? Isn't that very sad? Like that?
Internship doesn't mean you don't get paid.
But you get paid much less than a normal full-time employee, right? I thought internship
Yes.
pay is quite sad, right?
Yes.
But bo bian lah, you just have to go through it for like at least 1 or 2 months. What would be a good amount of time to do an internship?
3 months at least minimum.
Minimum, that's a minimum. But I
3
think
months, really?
It's
ah?
a minimum. Yeah.
When I did my poly internship donkey years ago, it was only 1 month.
Huh?
Really?
Yeah, lor.
What did you learn?
Hey, I was a journalist for Today newspaper. I learned how to
okay.
interview people.
Oh, nice.
If you are heavily on ground, actually maybe enough lah. Actually,
Right.
But yeah, I'd like to add, like usually internships should be long enough because especially for big corporations,
Yeah.
there's this new hire training phase, right? So that's where you actually pick up the ropes, like learn the basics before you actually can do any real work, right?
Yeah.
So if your internship period is too short, you don't even get past that foundational phase to
Right.
actually contribute to the team.
And actually, if you do an internship, I mean, there's a chance that you might actually land a job there also if you do a good enough
Yes.
job,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
because
be
it's
replaceable.
very painful for me to replace a good intern, right? As an employer.
How often do you hire your interns?
I don't hire interns very frequently, but my conversion rate for interns are very high.
What does that mean? Like,
Like-
from intern become full timer?
Yeah.
Oh,
Almost like
wow.
let's say 70-80%.
Oh, that's really high.
Yeah, that's
okay,
very high.
okay. Which means
Wow.
that you pick your interns very carefully. lah.
Yes.
I see. Wow, you see? So intern also cannot like very 不容易, you know. Like even interns is very hard for them to secure a job because people like you will be like, okay, I need a good intern. You cannot any
Right.
suka.
But I'm
intern.
fair ma, like if you are irreplaceable, if you really learn on the jobs, then I will convert you
Right.
ma.
Well, we're talking about all these skills that you all can learn. Like for example, if let's say you find an intern who can edit videos but can also do it in really good Chinese, which the rest of the team cannot.
Exactly.
Unreplaceable. But
Yeah.
how important is like, let's say, but this person is not such a people person. You have another intern who cannot edit in Chinese, but EQ super high. Everyone likes the intern. Which is more important?
Depends on if the skill can be acquired.
Oh.
You see, EQ is something can't be acquired easily.
Right.
Right. But editing skill might be picked up
Right.
through going to courses or we teach them on the job.
Right.
Right. So depends on the job lah. If it's editing and EQ, these are the two
Yeah.
things in play. Well, I might choose high. How good is the editing? It's very hard to say why. I
It's
cannot.
good. Okay, they're editing English videos both same.
Ah.
Just that the other one can do Chinese also.
But
But got a bit body odor, nobody like.
very hard. I'm gonna keep the high EQ one and send him or her to Chinese class.
Okay, with your $10,000 skills
Yes,
credit,
I think
like,
that's
okay.
enough.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is be irreplaceable but also likable. Irreplaceably nice. How about that? Yeah. And a good attitude
Of course,
when working.
yeah. We want it all, right? Yeah. With a $50,000 budget per month, you can hire somebody you want.
Right. You're okay. So Ling Yi mentioned just now that one of the biggest concerns is that there's not enough experience because every employer wants an experienced employee to work for them, right?
Yeah.
So you guys have seen many fresh graduates, right, at your workplace. So what advice would you give for those who are concerned about their lack of experience?
Yeah, so I think it's a very real world problem, right? Being concerned or even worrying about having sufficient experience before you actually even graduate the real world. So I think this is where I felt very blessed to be part of this work study degree program. So this work study degree program is basically a program which is tailored to helping me gain real world experience while I study.
It's from SkillsFuture also.
Yes, it's SkillsFuture. So
Wow, today I'm learning SkillsFuture has quite
yeah,
a lot of
it's
stuff.
benefits. So
okay.
this I was part of a piloted program offered by NTU. So if I'm not wrong, they actually liaise with the government to actually come up with this pilot program.
Oh, so it's partners with the schools.
Correct.
Okay.
So, like for me, what this program entailed was I had to fulfill numerous internships. So I had to fulfill a winter internship, which was 10 weeks long, a semestral internship, which was about 3 months, if I'm not wrong, and then a summer internship, which was another 1 or 2 months, right? Wow. And on top of that, I had to fulfill an industrial sponsored FIP, which was a year long. So all in all, that's
year.
a lot of internship exposure that I was getting, and
Wow.
this I would say definitely give me an edge as compared to my peers because
okay.
as Ling Yu mentioned,
Yeah,
right,
that makes you very competitive.
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
internship should look out for internship people with internship experiences.
Yeah.
So imagine coming in the workforce with a year plus internship experience. Right? The company will definitely value you as a competent.
Okay, I'm a little confused here. So what is the difference between this work-study like program with a normal university internship? What's the difference?
Honestly, there's not much difference.
Okay.
Despite the fact that this program actually has a more tailored structure for you, and
Okay.
you can actually offset certain credits. So, for example, I had internship during my winter and summer, right?
Yeah.
They could actually take away some modular credits from my curriculum. So I knew that by going internship, I was actually still making progress in my academic units.
That's amazing. Yeah. So instead of studying at the classroom, you are actually studying in an actual company, right?
per se lah.
Oh, that's
But
great.
the only drawback is I need to sacrifice my summer and winter law.
But instead, for a normal university internship, correct me if I'm wrong, only work at one place, right? You don't go to 4.
I actually interned at one place throughout.
Right.
So the whole program. So the program also required you to stick with one company.
I thought you
because-
said you went to 4 different companies.
No, I interned for long periods of time in the same company.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. But
So-
what are the 4 times that you went to internship? They're all the same job.
So my winter was in a different role,
Mm-hmm.
but my summer semestral as well as my final year project was within one role.
Oh,
right?
I see.
Because they were kind of linked. Because like year 3, sem 2, all the way to the end of till you graduate was actually with one department.
Do you know if this work study program is available to anyone who is not studying? Like, can a normal person apply for this?
My understanding is no. Like you need to be a full-time undergraduate
I
to
see.
even qualify.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool.
Mm.
Okay. So this is in lieu of the normal internship that you would take, right?
Yes.
So you don't get an additional internship on top of that. No.
No, because during your summer break, during your winter break, is up to your own discretion whether or not you want to pursue internship.
But-
So for me being in this program, it's more of a requirement. But I
Right.
didn't see it as a requirement because even without this program, I will still try to seek internship opportunities because I want to gain that real world experience. Right.
Right. So how many of your classmates actually took this up?
My close friends, like we have about six of us. So 3 of us actually went for this program because we believe that it was actually helpful for our our personal growth as well as our career growth.
Right. So after doing this internship, you believe that it actually helped you when you went to apply for your current job?
Definitely.
The employer actually said so, like, cause I'm choosing you because you have so much experience.
Not
Nobody will say so. One.
Why not?
say so for what?
I don't know.
Chosen one.
no, but in terms of experience, like carrying out tasks, knowing the know-hows in the department, and I think most importantly, right, internship experience. Not forget the hard skills, right? It's the soft skills that really matter. Like
Yeah.
being in the environment itself, being in internship, allowed me to network with people from different departments.
Wow.
And these people, till today, some of them already got promoted to managers and whatnot. And I have still kept in touch with them and we're still friends, you know.
Wow, you
So I
sound
thought-
45 again. That's amazing. I love that. So mature.
So I think all in all, I feel very blessed now and fortunate to be part of this pilot NTU work study degree program because it not only gave me opportunities to gain real world experience, I could clear my academic units and I got internship salary while doing that, right?
Wow.
So this gave me a competitive edge in early employment, especially when I'm really, as a graduate, your goal is just to seek employment and whatnot.
Definitely. I think last time is like you get a degree, that's what employers want. You get experience, that's also what employers want. But usually it's like conflicting ma. You either get your degree or you get experience, right?
Yeah.
But with this one you get both.
Correct.
Yeah. And you earn money at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. So it sounds good, right? Yeah. So I think this helps to solve one of the paradox, which is that a lot of employers, they want to find someone with experience, but yet without experience, you cannot get hired. So how do you even get that experience to get hired in the first place? So it becomes a bit of a paradox. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, as an employer, I look for somebody with an X factor, right? So, for example, a content creator, we're consistently looking for someone who just not only create contents, but also to do editing well and so forth. So, how do you kind of bring yourself an edge or a niche? Probably you would want to do your own project. Okay, this is my TikTok account. These are the kind of videos that I've done, and I could see your editing skills. That would definitely bring you much far edge to someone who just said, I have done even a 2 years experience without any portfolio. So it is basically that little effort, but it does goes a long way, because for me, I know that, okay, you are serious, you really want this job, and you have this fighting spirit that, hey, you know what, I've spent my own personal time to create this, develop these projects, and here it is, although I have zero experience. Because nowadays with AI, with TikTok, with all the social media, I think you yourself could actually build that up on your own, right? Even if you make mistakes, it's fine. Just don't be scared. And like, I think, and the last part is research about the company. Know exactly what the company offers. What do we do? For us, sometimes we got mistaken with salad stop with salad shops, or even like, oh yeah, you guys only sell salad. So those are the kind of thing you kind of know, okay, you don't really want this job. So I would say if you don't have experience, don't worry. You definitely will, in the end, get a job that you really want. It's just how you kind of be creative and put extra effort to it.
Right. Sometimes it's all about the determination. Yeah.
Yes.
Showing people that you really, really want the job lah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay lah. So it's actually a little bit of consolation for those of you who don't have experience. Diana is saying that you can make up for it by showing that you are very serious, you're hardworking, you're passionate, right? Yeah. And on top of that, have high EQ. Like what Ling is saying. Yeah, definitely that. Like come in the room, must greet people, be polite.
Yes,
all
the
that.
older your
It's
boss, the higher
important.
EQ you need.
Oh really? Why ah?
Huh? Young
What?
people more forgiving ma. Like as I grow older, I appreciate high EQ more lah. When I was younger, I appreciate less. You know?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, okay. So let's discuss what is the importance of upskilling, okay, which is a term that today I just learned, okay. So I suppose that means like upgrading. Why you laugh? Okay. Coach Ling is thinking this ancient influencer only know how to use blogger.com. Does not know how to do
Yeah, I
TikTok
never
videos.
say that. Oh, you're doing a podcast right now, so you have upskilled.
Is it podcast? Is quite old format leh.
No, not really.
Yeah, I can
not
do
really.
live streams.
Exactly.
Huh?
You have upskilled.
Can I TikTok dance? No. Okay, so upskilling super important in today's society. Like just now we mentioned multiple times, having more than one skill is super beneficial. Like even if, for example, I'm today trying to find a job to sell fish, it helps if I also know about prawns and crabs, right? Yeah. Not a very good example. Okay,
I kinda-
okay. How about I sell fish, but I can also do accounts.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
okay,
right.
yes.
You see? So which is why everyone should always be upgrading themselves. Yeah.
True.
Also the same skill, but you upgrade yourself to do better. For example, you used to sell fish, freshwater fish. Now you sell both freshwater and seawater
With
fish.
a specialty in the heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't believe we chose that as an example. Yeah. Could
Must
have.
be easy to understand for people. If
Yeah.
not, you say what molecular biotechnology. Everyone's like question mark. Like what is that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So selfish, understand lah. Huh? So let's discuss Lingy and Bo, the other two over here. Like as an influencer.
What have
How-
we upskilled?
Yeah. How do we upskill ourselves?
Actually, quite a lot.
Actually, Noah is relevant to Dinah's job. She's
Yeah.
marketing ma. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me ask you, 20 years ago, don't want to sound that
Oh,
old.
wow.
10 years ago,
Okay,
10 years
thank you.
ago, the clients, our clients, they were not trained, right?
Yes.
Here comes a YouTuber, here comes a blogger. We are telling the clients, this is what you want, this is how many views you get, and this is what the customers want.
Yeah.
We are telling you. Now the market has been trained. Our clients are so savvy, so which force us to upskill ourselves.
Right.
We have to learn how to analyze data.
Yeah.
We have to learn better presentation skills, right?
Yeah.
And we have to learn
Content.
we have to learn AI. Like my team is learning. Personally, I'm using AI. For example, I recently just learned how to combine ChatGPT and Canva together.
Okay.
Wow.
So I use
Congratulations.
ChatGPT, then I use whatever ChatGPT generate, then I use that to make Canva generate. Then Canva would generate a beautiful deck for me with so little effort from me. Not so little, but way less.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this, wow, that finally sounds better than sounding fish. Slightly better, right? Influencer.
Okay, well, very hard honestly. Yeah. I wish there's like SkillsFuture like courses for me to take on how to become a better influencer.
Have AI editing, something like that.
AI editing.
Because some of my editors are learning AI.
Okay, maybe I go and
Yeah.
learn that. Then I don't need to sit there and like edit until I want to faint already.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
So when I was working for my previous employer, so it was a gaming company, right? I was doing game publishing. Like I said, it's mainly project management, understand the market and all that stuff. I already had programming skills when I was in uni, but it was very dated already when I was working for this company. And my job technically do not require me to know how to program because I work with the programmers. I launch the products in different markets.
Yeah.
But in order for me to communicate with the programmers better, to allow me to better manage the progress of the app development, so I want to learn more about programming, something new, Python, or back then was Python. I never learned Python in uni, then I learned to learn Python. So that gave me a very competitive edge. If a new project manager come in, you are not gonna take my job, bro. Like not
because
that
you know
easy.
Python.
Yeah, not that easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So how much do you spend to learn the new skill of like the coding?
As in money wise.
Yeah, do you take professional courses or you just at home?
No, I learned at home because I already had programming background. Yes, actually I did spend money on two things after I start my company. So I learned accounting because I need to do my accounts at the beginning, right? So that one I paid to do a course, and some HR stuff. I paid to learn that. SkillsFuture I also got used, but I paid to learn a cooking class.
Okay.
Yes, because I was on a cooking show.
Yes.
So I wanted to be better.
You are so upgrade.
driven.
She's like the
Driven.
Japanese anime, you know, like whole day upgrade. The hero always need to upgrade,
all the
upgrade, learn
powers.
new skills.
And I was saying he sounded old just now.
No, you sound young. He sounds old. The young
you.
people they want to
Thank
upgrade.
you.
Old people don't want to upgrade, huh? Okay, old people just want to play Tai Chi and like I guess learn
Thank
bird
you.
rearing.
So yes, important. Yeah, upskill is important.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about upskilling?
I guess it was during COVID time that, like I mentioned about the whole SkillsFuture enterprise credit, right? It was during that time that my company actually, or rather the company I'm working for, actually funded for me to go to courses just because it's circuit breaker. Nobody's actually visiting the salad bars during that time. So how do we sell these items and they are perishable items? So I got into a course called digital marketing in terms of user experience for website. So a lot of like service thinking, knowing how to do paid ads. On back then it's just Facebook, it's not even Meta, and how to kind of learn about conversion, the whole data analytics, and also customer service relationship. So it's all in all, while it has been a very I guess traumatized moment during COVID, but it is also a moment where I felt like I'm in school back again because I'm at home learning online, either that or I'm in the office, not having a lot of like classmates, and it's a nice environment to be in. So basically that has future-proofed my career progression to date. And ever since I've been picking up more courses and learning, because digital marketing, as you know, it always is progressive,
Yeah.
right? Whatever that we've learned probably 4 months ago, it would have a little bit of upgrade or changes here and there. So those were the courses that I have experienced with SkillsFuture. Yeah.
So when you learn your course, was it picked by your employee or picked by yourself?
So back then it was a discussion. So yes, they picked it, but at the same time, I kind of know exactly what the company needs. So I kind of propose, okay, these are the better course to take, rather than at that time doing Google search. Like
Right.
so might as well we get our products out there through paid ads or even influencers outreach, right? So that was the time.
Do you feel the course was good?
So the course was only, if I can be really honest, 60% effective, because the rest of it you really have to apply. You have to be at work and try and go through the trial and errors to know and to deem if it's successful.
Right? Okay, but that's cool. I mean, there's something to do during COVID times. Like, you know, at least you are upgrading yourself and
Yeah.
you've learned something new already.
So it's truly a testament to everyone who have actually progressed further. I have personally have really close friends and colleagues who actually have progressed just because they take up SkillsFuture courses. So I think it's also important that if the employees could actually support their growth as well.
So what do you think, Yongjin?
So touching on the topic of upskilling, right? I think to me personally, upskilling is very important because we live in a age whereby digitalization is everywhere. AI, the technology, the phones we use used to be Nokia, now it's iPhone, right? Then now
You were existing meh that time? Nokia?
existing.
Sony
I played
Ericsson.
Bounce on Nokia.
What is Bounce? We played Snake lah.
Oh, it was Bounce.
What is Bounce?
Bounce is this ball game.
Oh, yes.
That's super popular. Right.
36, last time got Nokia meh when you were
So when you were 1 year old, you were playing.
No 1 year old lah.
He's
Sorry.
28. We need to remind ourselves he's 28.
I'm young. But I was in that era as well, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So so basically in today's age, things are moving very, very quickly. Things
Yeah.
are changing rapidly, right?
Yeah.
And I think upskilling is very important to stay relevant. So it's not just about having that competitive edge, but also being adaptable and learning things that can help you further propel your growth. So for example, networking, is that upskilling? Networking is a form of upskilling, right?
Right.
Because you get to know people from different perspectives and actually gain different experience, different perspectives, right?
Right.
Like for example, me being here, I'm actually learning from you guys as well, right?
Right.
I'm actively absorbing as well. And this upskilling, right?
Yes.
Putting yourself into a different environment, right? Gain exposure, that's upskilling as well.
He sounds like, you know what he's doing? He sounds like he's telling his girlfriend, tonight I want to go out and drink with friends. Then he goes in his whole speech. Networking is very important for us.
Yes, I observe from like the people I hang out with,
Yes.
drink with.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think I also need to say this Chinese phrase because
Of course.
because I think I'm deeply rooted to my roots, Chinese, right? Very Asian, right? So there's this saying in Chinese is 玉不琢不成器，子不学不知义. So the translation to this
Wait,
is
let me guess. Wait, Ling knows 玉不琢 what?
不成器.
If you don't carve a jade, it doesn't become a vase.
Something like that.
Right,
Yes.
okay, second part.
子不学不知义，
子不学,
不知义.
if a person doesn't learn, he's worthless.
In a nicer way.
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, so fundamentally this Asian Chinese phrase is basically saying that upskilling is very important, right? If you're human and you don't continue to learn, continue to gain exposure, continue to upgrade, you may not really live your life to the fullest, right?
So, you know, I guess another question that people like to ask is, you know, what can young professionals do, okay, to future-proof their career lah? Like yours said, it's very dangerous these days. Anyone is replaceable. There's AIs that is actually coming for our job, you know. So in this evolving job market, what can you do?
I think the main consensus, and all of us agree that it's important to upskill,
Correct.
right? And I think it's also important for employers to encourage their employees to continuously upskill themselves, to take up courses and see how that can actually elevate their line of work or contribute even more towards the company. Because at the end of it, they will feel empowered, they will feel happy, they will feel like they achieved and contributed. And beyond just upskilling, it would be also good to cross-collaborate. So for example, like for us, our nutritionist, she is now a pro Canva. And also she could do a Photoshop. So she doesn't only do nutritionist as in she doesn't just calculate nutrition at the end of the day.
Yeah.
She could do blog content, she could do social media contents. Although, okay, let's just put a kind of disclaimer that of course it has to go through like the whole designer kind of processes, but at least it helped the team to be a little bit more efficient because then she has already done the work. The research part of it is done. It's just a little minor tweak from the designers and it's approved. So that has helped the team actually speeds up our work and become more productive. Like for me as well, right? A designer who could also do marketing. So it is that cross collaboration of tools or rather expertise or experience that you have that you can bring to the table.
So Yongjin, what do you think? How do you future-proof yourself?
Well, to be frank, I'm not really I don't really have a lot of years in the industry, right? I only recently graduated like one year plus. But my take on future proofing, in terms of career in a ever changing landscape, right? Is really having not skills but qualities. For example, the quality of being adaptable. Right? Because the landscape is changing really rapidly, and like your skills today may be irrelevant 2-3 years later. Right? So what are you gonna do? That hard skill may not be your best bet as a fallback, but these values, the hunger to learn, the qualities of adaptability, right? These would be the more lasting things that you'll fall back on, and that's my take on future proofing.
Yeah, and then like as you said you can also go out like network and all this. So in future, even if you want to find another job, you have a good network of people that you can say advice from. Maybe one of them might hire you. Okay. Alright, so we've come to the end of the podcast. Thank you to our guests for joining us here today. And also I hope you guys have actually learned more about taking charge of your career, especially with the SkillsFuture initiative. So let's ask our guests any last words of advice for everyone watching out there.
I just want to say that securing your first job might be a challenging yet exciting experience, right? It can be overwhelming. You might face rejections, you might have self-doubt, but it is a very valuable learning experience. So just appreciate it and enjoy it.
So final thoughts. I think the work study degree program really benefited me, and it's testament to how to what the government has put in place to help our workforce to become more ready for the unknowns in the future. So I'm just very grateful and very heartened to know that there are many government initiatives that are available to us, SkillsFuture credits, so on and so forth, that will enable Singaporeans to continuously upgrade and stay relevant to whichever industries they choose.
Okay, so my advice would be that for your first job, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just attempt it with an openness mindset, right? Like, there's nothing to fear. Like, just really bring yourself out there. You'll meet. It's all about networking. It's all about meeting new people, learning about new personalities or characters, and just building that experience. Don't think so much, and more importantly, embrace the journey with an open mind. Make mistakes, go through all the challenges, and you'll definitely come out stronger and more confident.
Okay, thank you very much to our guests for joining us today. And for my advice, right, for those of you out there trying to find a new job, right, I think that the SkillsFuture, what's it called again? The Skills and Training Advisory Services, yeah, that one with the like one-on-one consultation, definitely look into that because that one seems like a pretty good resource that you can tap into. Okay, and thank you very much for joining us, guys. So if you have any comments, let us know, okay, about your first job, what's the first experience, how was it like? If you have any other advice for anyone out there trying to find a job, leave a comment as well, and we'll see you guys next time on the next episode of Sorry Not Sorry. Bye-bye.
Bye.